Democratic Congresswoman Joyce Beatty of Ohio. Thank you for being here this morning. First, to the firings at the Office of Director of National Intelligence. Were you, as a congressperson, made aware of the firings happening in the first place by the acting director?
Well, Sarah, thank you, first of all, for having me here. Absolutely not. This is the business as usual that Trump and his administration is doing. They're not working within the confines of what they should do. We've seen that across the board with every issue. But this is an all-time low. To bring someone in who has absolutely no experience, totally unqualified to do the job, and while we are facing all of the critical wars that we are in, this is very dangerous. This is more than just terminating people. This is very dangerous to our national security and to this country.
Democrats on the intelligence committees that warned Pulte against these sweeping firings, it appears that's what's happening. So what do you do now?
Well, I think that we're going to have to stand up to this. It's not only Democrats. There were also some Republicans who were against this because he's unqualified. We are back in session on the House today. This is at the top of the agenda. We have a very strong intelligence committee, and we're going to continue to push back and fight back with this because it's what we must do. And we're having some victories across the board. People are now feeling more empowered to take Donald Trump on because we know that he does not have the best interests of this country. We also know that he's not qualified to do the job. Anyone that would put someone in this position and back him up with all this going on speaks for itself.
I do want to ask you about something you were deeply involved with. CNN has now this morning seen images of what is behind the curtain draping part of the Kennedy Center. Those images confirm that Donald Trump's name has been removed because of a lawsuit that you brought as a Kennedy Center board member who was denied the right to speak or vote on the name change. Why do you think the removal of President Trump's name on the memorial has been kind of hidden from the public and there's still something draping the front of the building?
I think that is another one of the things that Donald Trump does. I think he was embarrassed. We were very victorious because it was unlawful. And I filed the lawsuit. We won on several of our motions. And I think because on the 12th, the day that it was to come down, the courts gave him an extension because of the weather. So on that Saturday, remember, this was Donald Trump's birthday weekend. And he is so vain, I think he didn't want the thousands of people who would be out there taking pictures, celebrating the victory, that he put that tarp over it. But there's no tarp that he could put up there to cover up what he has done. I was there at 4 o'clock in the morning when the letters actually came down. So I can tell you his name has been removed, and we are certainly standing up against this tarp to have it also come down.
You told the Washingtonian, quote, "I didn't want to be in one of these screaming matches when someone is doing something unlawful. You take it to the courts." In March, the court also ruled that you must be allowed to participate in board meetings. A couple of days later, the board met to vote on closing the Kennedy Center for renovations. Now, do you think renovations need to happen? But also, what's it like being on a board after taking the board to court?
Well, two things. Yes, I think the renovations are needed. Keep in mind that the review and all the plans that this board is looking at came from the previous board chair and president of the Kennedy Center. So we recognize that things need to be done to renovate it, but it can be done and still maintain being open. I think when you are fighting someone like Donald Trump, I decided that what he was doing was illegal, and I was going to fight injustices with justice. I wasn't going to compromise on who I am. I wasn't afraid to go into the board meeting, as awkward as it may have seemed. I thought about Ruby Bridges and how that 9-year-old girl walked in with police officers to a school where no one looked like her. And so I have been empowered by many strong women, black and white, Eleanor Roosevelt, Shirley Chisholm, Rosa Parks. So I did what was right, and we won because it was unlawful what Donald Trump did. Now, we're going to stay focused on this. We're going to make sure that we bring programming back. That's the next step that the federal judge has ruled on, that we have to have a plan. And I want to be there because I believe in the Kennedy Center and what it stands for. So I'm going to stay on the board and speak up, and also be someone who wants to make sure that we restore it and that we are having artists come back and that we do bring the National Symphony Orchestra back. So we're going to stay on this. The TARP will be coming down, and we will have it as the law created it to be, the John F. Kennedy Memorial, the only living memorial for former President John Kennedy, who was assassinated.
Congresswoman Joyce Beatty, thank you so much for chatting with me this morning. I do appreciate it. Kate?